Your brain floats in complete darkness inside your skull, yet somehow it creates your entire world. Everything you're experiencing right now, these words, the sounds around you, the sensations in your body, is actually being manufactured by 3 pounds of tissue that's never directly experienced anything. Think of your brain as mission control sitting in a windowless room. It has never seen light, felt wind, or tasted food. Instead, it has field agents, your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, that venture out into the world collecting data and sending it back through electrical signals. Your brain takes these signals and constructs a complete holographic experience that you call reality. Scientists have discovered that your brain actually spends most of its energy not processing the present moment, but predicting what's about to happen next. When you reach for a glass of water, your brain starts preparing the movement before you're even conscious of deciding to move. Your consciousness isn't creating the action, it's following a script your brain wrote milliseconds before. Think about the sheer amount of information bombarding your senses every moment. The temperature of the air on your skin, the pressure of your clothes, the ambient sounds, the countless visual details in your environment, the subtle tastes and smells, the position of every part of your body. It's an overwhelming flood of data. Your brain can only process about 1% of all this sensory information. So what happens to the other 99%? Your brain has to filter it out. And here's the fascinating part. Your brain doesn't choose what to filter randomly. It selects what to show you based on your beliefs, expectations, and past experiences. It's like having a highly selective security guard who only lets in information that matches what you already believe is important or true. That means your current reality, everything you're experiencing right now, is actually just a tiny fraction of what's really out there. And here's where things get interesting. These filters weren't even chosen by you. The way your brain decides what's important enough to show you isn't based on your conscious choices. Instead, your brain's translation system, the software it uses to convert sensory data into experience, was installed by your parents, teachers, culture, and early experiences before you were old enough to choose it. You're running an inherited program that filters reality based on someone else's limitations. Watch what happens when a young child falls. If their parent gasps and rushes over in panic, the child learns to interpret pain as emergency. If the parent calmly says, "You're okay," and helps them up, the child learns resilience. Same reality, completely different translation, and that translation becomes permanent programming in their brain's prediction system. This inherited programming affects every aspect of life, creating vastly different realities for different people looking at the exact same world. Take money, for example. If you grew up hearing, "Money doesn't grow on trees," or "Rich people are nasty and greedy," your brain literally filters out business opportunities. Meanwhile, someone raised with "money flows where attention goes" will notice profitable patterns in the same environment that you dismiss as coincidence. The same filtering happens in relationships, but with even deeper implications. If your early experiences taught you love always leads to pain, or trust leads to betrayal, your brain actively filters out potential partners who don't fit this pattern. Someone who inherited the belief love is everywhere might find meaningful connections in places you'd never even think to look. Same environment, completely different reality. But here's the real trap. When we try to improve our lives, we use these same limiting patterns to solve our problems. It's like trying to escape a maze while wearing blindfolds that we don't even know we're wearing. Think about it like this. When you feel unloved, what's your automatic response? If you learned early on that love must be earned, you'll instinctively try harder to please others, sacrifice more of yourself, do more to prove you're worthy of love. But this pattern actually pushes authentic connections away because real love isn't earned, it's shared. Yet your mind keeps insisting, if it's not working, I must not be doing enough. So you sacrifice even more, creating a downward spiral. And here's what's happening on the other side. People start feeling uncomfortable, sensing there are strings attached to every gesture. Your partner feels pressured by your excessive attention, knowing it's not just care, but a desperate bid for approval. Friends begin pulling away, feeling guilty about your sacrifices. Everyone around you can sense they're being used as proof of your worthiness rather than being genuinely connected with. The more you try to earn love, the more people feel manipulated rather than loved, even though that's not your conscious intention at all. It's the same with work and worth. If you inherited the belief that my value comes from how hard I work, what do you do when you're burning out? You push yourself even harder. Your brain's logic is, I'm feeling worthless, so I must not be working hard enough. So you take on more projects, work longer hours, say yes to everything, driving yourself deeper into exhaustion. The very pattern that's causing your burnout becomes your desperate solution to fix it. In both cases, do you see the trap? The pattern that's causing your pain is the same pattern you're using to try to escape that pain. It's like trying to put out a fire by adding more fuel, because that's the only solution your current programming knows. This is exactly why traditional manifestation techniques so often fall short. They attempt to paste new beliefs over old programming without addressing the underlying patterns. It's like trying to debug computer code using the very bug you're trying to fix. Think about it. When you repeat affirmations like, money flows easily to me, while running an inherited program that says nothing worthwhile comes easily, you're not reprogramming anything. You're creating internal conflict that blocks manifestation entirely. Instead, we need to update the basic translation software your brain uses to create reality. This process works with your brain's natural mechanisms rather than against them. Here's how to do it. 1. Become a pattern detective. Carry a notebook everywhere for 1 week. Each time you encounter any limitation or challenge, write down your immediate thought response. These instant reactions reveal your inherited translation patterns. When a thought pops up, ask yourself, whose voice is this really? Maybe it's your mother's cautious, better safe than sorry when you're considering a new opportunity, or your father's, money is hard to come by when you're thinking about investments. Perhaps it's your old teacher's, you're not good at math when you're facing a business challenge, or maybe it's something you absorbed from social media. That TikTok influencer saying, you need to hustle 24/7 to succeed when you're thinking about work-life balance. Pay special attention to these borrowed voices. They're not your authentic perception. They're installed programs running on autopilot. 2. Practice pattern interruption. When you catch yourself running an old pattern, pause. This is your moment of power, the split second where you can choose a different reality. Let's say you see a luxury car and your mind automatically goes, people who buy those are just showing off. Catch that thought. Pause. Is that really your authentic interpretation, or is it an echo of someone else's limitations? Now here's the fun part. Challenge yourself to generate 3 completely different ways to see the same situation. Maybe that person values quality craftsmanship, or they've created enough abundance to enjoy life's pleasures, or even they're inspiring me to think bigger. Choose the interpretation that expands your possibilities, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Remember, feeling uncomfortable means you're breaking free from old patterns. Here's something crucial you need to understand. You literally have no access to solutions outside your installed programming. Think about that for a moment. When you're figuring out a problem, you're actually just recycling the same limiting patterns that created the problem in the first place. How long have you been trying to solve this issue? A month? 3 years? 20 years? The reason you haven't found the solution isn't that you haven't tried hard enough, it's that you're trying to escape a maze while using the very map that got you lost. It's like being trapped in a room where all the mirrors show you the same distorted reflection. No matter how many times you look, you'll keep seeing the same limited version of reality. Your current patterns aren't problem-solving tools, they're problem-making tools. That's why traditional approaches like think positive or try harder often fail. You're still looking through the same filtered lens. The real solution isn't in figuring it out with your mind, it's in allowing your body and being to move naturally through the process. It's about creating space for new patterns to emerge by releasing your grip on the old ones. This is why the next step is so important. 3. Become a reality researcher. Now that you're more aware of your patterns and practicing interrupting them, it's time to explore new possibilities. Think of this as trying on different reality lenses. Find people who excel where you want to grow. Watch how they interpret life's events. If someone seems to attract amazing relationships effortlessly, notice how they read social situations. Do they see rejection as feedback instead of failure? If someone's building wealth while you're struggling, pay attention to how they view money flow. Are they spotting opportunities in situations you dismiss? This isn't about copying their behavior. It's about understanding that different interpretations create different realities. You're learning that there's no single right way to translate reality, only patterns that expand or limit what's possible for you. 4. Begin neural reinforcement. Each morning, take time to visualize yourself responding to challenges with new interpretations. Remember, your brain can't tell the difference between vivid imagination and reality. It will create new neural pathways either way. 5. Create an environmental upgrade. Audit your surroundings for triggers of old patterns. The people you spend time with, the spaces you occupy, the media you consume, all of these program your brain's translation system. Make changes that support your desired reality. 6. Maintain an evidence journal, documenting moments when new patterns create better results. Each piece of evidence strengthens your brain's new programming. Review these successes daily and share them with others who support your growth. As you practice this process, you'll start to notice something fascinating happening. Opportunities and possibilities that were invisible to you before will begin appearing everywhere. This explains why some people seem naturally lucky or successful. Their brains are running different translation software, allowing them to notice and act on opportunities that others filter out. And here's where your personal transformation takes on an even more exciting dimension. While you're breaking free from inherited patterns, you're not just changing your individual life, you're actually tapping into a vast field of possibilities that most people never access. Think of it like upgrading from an old TV that only shows black and white to a modern 8K display. Suddenly, you're seeing colors, details, and dimensions that were always there, but invisible to your old device. Science is beginning to understand this through quantum physics and neuroscience. Your consciousness isn't just a passive observer, it's an active creator of your experience. When you break free from your inherited patterns, you're not just changing your thoughts, you're literally expanding your ability to perceive and create opportunities. It's like having exclusive access to a hidden layer of reality that others can't see because they're still running their limited programming. This means every time you transform a limiting belief, you're not just solving one specific problem, you're upgrading your entire reality-creating system. When you break free from "I have to earn love," you don't just improve your relationships, you suddenly start noticing opportunities for connection everywhere. When you transform "money is hard to get," you don't just improve your finances, you begin perceiving abundance in all areas of life. You're not just changing your thoughts, you're expanding your capacity to experience life's full spectrum of possibilities. The universe is constantly offering infinite opportunities, but most people can only see what their inherited programming allows them to notice. As you update your mental software, you gain access to possibilities that have always been there but were invisible to your old patterns. You become one of the few people who can see and seize opportunities that others don't even know exist. I hope this video opened your eyes to the power of your own perception. If so, please share it with someone who's ready to access their full potential. Subscribe for more insights into creating your desired reality and comment below. What new possibilities are you ready to start seeing in your life? Thank you for watching. This is Ayla, signing off.